A political thunderstorm has shaken South Africa yet again, sending shockwaves across each province, newsroom, and political circle. What had begun as a routine follow-up operation by law enforcement authorities has turned into one of the most startling discoveries of corruption in recent years. Investigators have found a large stash of money hidden in the opulent residence of a top-ranked leader of the fictional National Alliance Congress, a party that vaguely resembles real political institutions, but is entirely imagined for telling this story. But this is a particularly dramatic discovery because of how quickly it evolved from a regular intelligence gathering into a national spectacle. Details of the investigation revealed that the raid was part of an extensive late-night operation. The country's top investigative units, elite teams comprising members of the Hawks crime intelligence divisions and specialized financial crime task forces moved with precision and months of gathered intelligence. Several properties belonging to high-profile political figures were targeted, each operation unfolding simultaneously under the cover of darkness. But it was one residence nestled in a wealthy suburb with high walls surrounding it and a maze of advanced security systems that delivered the discovery no one expected. There were no stacks of cash lying in drawers or piled inside some kind of traditional safe. Rather, what investigators found was a remarkably engineered financial hiding system that could have been the subject of an international crime thriller. As officers went room to room, they found vacuum-sealed bundles of banknotes hidden inside custom-built furniture fitted with secret compartments. Thick flooring panels were lifted, showing large containers full of cash beneath the house. Foreign currency was tucked into envelopes and bound behind false walls. Officers even found miniature safes that were camouflaged as everyday household appliances, things which looked innocent but contained fortunes. By the end of the search, the officers were reportedly overwhelmed by the magnitude of the discovery. While officials have not confirmed the exact amount, several sources suggest the stash runs well into the multi-million rand range, possibly even beyond that. As described by one investigator, it was the highly sophisticated cash concealment operation designed specifically to avoid banking systems, financial tracking, and accountability. News of the raid spread like wildfire, and the fictional National Alliance Congress, already beset by internal strife, leadership struggles, and a decline in public trust, went into a panic. Many high-ranking officials were said to be in shock as the details made their way to headquarters, with emergency meetings allegedly held behind closed doors throughout the night. It is now a crisis that threatens to tear these leaders apart from within their structures. And given the investigation is allegedly set to expand with further raids on the cards along with more political figures being scrutinized and even frozen international accounts, anxiety is rife among the party's senior ranks. This revelation comes at a very fragile moment for the National Alliance Congress given the various allegations of corruption, mismanagement accusations, and endless tussles between the reformist leaders and older factions resisting accountability. Many analysts say this could be that tipping point, a moment when the country is made to confront some long-standing questions regarding political ethics and financial transparency. The fictional narrative may be, but public outrage is immense across South Africa. People are angry and rightly so. When unemployment is soaring, when inflation tightens its grip on families and inequality continues to widen, the mere thought of millions of rands being hidden in a politician's home feels like a slap in the face. Social media platforms exploded overnight with messages of frustration, disbelief, and pure fury. They keep telling us the country is broke, one viral post read. But politicians are hiding millions in their houses. This isn't corruption anymore, another user wrote. This is daylight looting. Others demanded accountability. How many homes must be searched before the truth is finally revealed? When will the arrests happen? Who else is involved? From the online spaces to the radio stations to community discussions, the responses all have one thing in common. South Africans are tired of corruption and want real consequences. In a press briefing, the Hawks confirmed that the discovery formed part of a much larger ongoing investigation. Analysts studying the case believe that the pattern of cash concealment suggests links to a sprawling network of fictional illicit activities, manipulated procurement processes, government tenders awarded through kickback systems, misappropriated funds earmarked for key infrastructure, and cross-border money laundering operations spanning several countries. More warrants are said to be in the pipeline. A number of sources close to the investigation have independently confirmed that as many as 4 other senior officials of the ruling National Alliance Congress are being closely monitored. If those reports turn out to be true, the country is staring at one of the widest anti-corruption sweeps in recent fictional history. Authorities have not identified the political figure whose home was searched, citing legal constraints, investigations that are still ongoing, and the need not to compromise future operations. But the secrecy surrounding the case and the level of panic erupting within high-level political circles suggest the individual is extremely influential. Political insiders warn that when the name becomes public, South Africa could experience a political meltdown unlike anything in the last 2 decades. For now, the nation waits in suspense, anxiously watching every press briefing, every leaked memo, and every whispered rumor. Will this investigation lead to arrests? Are there going to be more hidden stashes found? How long has this operation been running? These are the questions gripping the nation, and investigators insist the truth. Every detail is coming. No matter who it implicates, no matter how high the accountability reaches, this explosive raid is not just another corruption headline within this fictional world. It is a political earthquake, one that could reshape the complete trajectory of South Africa's leadership and public trust. The scale of the operation, the sophistication of the cash-hiding techniques, and the political stature of the individuals allegedly involved make this moment one of the most significant turning points in years, predict the political analysts. Several major consequences: a possible collapse of internal party factions with members potentially turning against one another in a bid to avoid implication. The erosion of public trust may change future elections and voter turnout substantially. Increased demand for transparency may compel lawmakers into passing more drastic anti-corruption legislation. An expanded criminal inquiry with investigative teams following financial trails both locally and internationally. But the political consequences aside, this scandal is almost like a mirror to the country, a reflection of long-standing challenges, unanswered questions, and the urgent need for reform at an institutional level. Communities across South Africa are demanding accountability beyond just answers. The citizens call for thorough investigations, public disclosure, and accountability at all levels. They want to know who benefited from these fictional schemes, where the money came from, and just how it was possible that such a vast operation went undetected for so long. Meanwhile, investigators are working around the clock. More raids are expected. More evidence is being analyzed, and based on early findings, analysts believe this could only be the beginning. South Africa teeters on the cusp of a turning point in this work of fiction. What happens in these next days, weeks, and months will determine the political landscape for an entire generation. The one thing that is sure as this story unfolds: what started out as a rather simple follow-up operation has exploded into a nationwide reckoning. And the next chapter may be even more explosive.